I'm wondering this question that in regard to Pittsburgh and weather issues, and I tend to ask stupid questions, so forgive me, Gene, but how much do you think with the new rule change that's going to affect what Pittsburgh does when it does get into those games in December with the Broncos coming in, of whether or not that's going to affect the two-point conversion, trying to kick 35-yard field goals for an extra point, or because it's always been difficult to kick there.
Yeah, it has, especially toward the so-called open man. Now there have been changes to the stadium where a number of seats have been added there, but it doesn't look like it's going to affect the way the wind comes in off the rivers there. But I think you'll see a change there too, Woody. You know, that when Bill Cowher first got the Pittsburgh job, he was absolutely convinced that you had to be able to run in this division, particularly because of the weather. But even he started to move away from it toward the end, and you know, really fell in love with Tommy Maddox, and then Ben Roethlisberger, and it's really been a passing team pretty much ever since.
Yeah, he led the league in yardage last year, Ben Roethlisberger. Are you seeing from him that he is capable of doing that again?
Well, they sure think so. I mean, this business about averaging 30 points a game, I mean, that's to my way of thinking, in the cranky way that Woody and I share, is not something that you say out loud. You might say that, you know, in your film room, in your little meetings, but I don't think you should be saying, yeah, we're going to average 30 points, because you know, as soon as you say that on opening night, you're going to get beat 30-13 or something.
That division is always difficult, and a team that can kind of emerge from the games that are in the division is the one that emerges into the playoffs. Is that the way it's going to be again this year? Baltimore's kind of in the AFC, sort of the team du jour because of how well they played in New England last year in the playoffs, and of course Pittsburgh. In my mind, even despite what happened today, Pittsburgh's going to be back in the hunt. Cincinnati, we don't really know about. I mean, how do you look at this division and how it ends up shaping?
Yeah, I don't think there's a great team in the division. I think there are, three really good teams, though, and one that's not so good, Cleveland. But what's interesting from the scheduling standpoint this year is the 3 of the last 4 Steeler games are against AFC North foes. They go to Cincinnati early in December, then right after Christmas they go to Baltimore, and then to Cleveland in the final week. So much will happen, not only in the division, but to the team in so many ways before we get to that stretch that it's really hard to say. But I expect, as you said, Woody, a really competitive situation in that division.
Gene, I turned on the TV last night to watch the Tennessee Titans play, and I look at the sideline of Tennessee and I see good old Dick LeBeau. Is that an odd sight for you and everybody else in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it sure is. I miss him mostly because he's just such a great guy to talk to. Very great guy, of course, encyclopedia of not only defensive football but offensive football and everything else. And a real kind of Renaissance man that you can talk to about almost anything. And that's definitely going to be missed. And he'll still make a big impact on that defense in Tennessee. He's got Ray Horton there with him, and Ken Wisenhunt, and they'll be much better. I don't think there's any way they can avoid being better because he's there.